Alright, Dragon Ball Super fans. I mean, the series is getting better and better with each episode. True, the pacing seems to be a bit off because I remember the days of Dragon Ball, the original series, where the World Tournament arc sometimes ranged between maybe a dozen to almost 18 or 20 episodes. And I really did enjoy those tournaments because it didn't just have Goku being the star every time. I mean, sure, he would be the one to make it to the final rounds, but we did get to see some good fights from, Krillin and even Yamcha, even if he did lose in almost pretty much every first round of the final competition. It was good to see other characters, utilize, seeing different techniques. So during the Universals 6 and 7, pretty much universes going at it, we are seeing, some interesting characters. I think one of the most interesting concepts is the fact that characters like Botamo and Vegeta, the robot, and the bear, Winnie the Pooh, they are pretty much, characters that Vegeta and Goku had to throw outside of the ring, or otherwise they might have lost because, they can pretty much both tank hits with Goku's Kamehameha and melee block attacks doing nothing to Botamo's, interesting body where it deflected everything. And then you have Vegeta, who, I don't know about you, but I was just pumped to see the final flash in the anime again because it really reminded me of the Cell arc where the attack was debuted. And the fact that when Vegeta took that stance, Goku was stunned and then Krillin was the first one not to say, Vegeta, you're not going to use that move here. It was just hilarious because it was a nice throwback to the Cell saga because if I'm not mistaken, aside from Perfect Cell, Android 16, Future Trunks, Krillin was the only one there, in person to actually see the attack being executed. So again, when Vegeta took that stance and Krillin freaked out, I just lost it because I do love how Dragon Ball Super is pulling these elements from Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball, kind of nice little Easter eggs for us long-term fans to say, hey, I remember when they did that in that other series. So for them to throw that back in there, kudos to the writers. So the point of this video is an interesting thing that we saw in the preview for next week's episode where we see Cabba, the Saiyan from Universe 6, versus Vegeta, and both appear to be fighting in their base forms. And for some reason, it looks like Vegeta was almost like a bully because there's one point where it looked like Vegeta took Cabba by the shirt, hold him up like a bully in school, like the big bully would grab the guy by the shirt, the smaller guy, and hang him up there, almost like that. So it looks like those two aren't holding back, well, at least Vegeta is. And out of nowhere, Cabba goes Super Saiyan. And remember that when Goku first became a Super Saiyan fighting Frost, Champa was freaked out saying, hey, what's up with that? What kind of transformation is that? And Cabba's quick to say, hey, I never seen a transformation like that before in Universe 6. So it looks like that Cabba might be the first Super Saiyan on Planet Salad. And it looks like, of course, Vegeta's going to be the one to trigger it. It looks like he's going to beat Cabba to the point where he gets pissed off and he doesn't want to lose, and the only thing he can do is transform. And it looks like a pretty fierce battle between those two, Cabba and Vegeta. And it makes me interested in seeing, wow, I mean, this Vegeta, if it was like Cabba versus, let's say, Android Saga Vegeta when he first learned to go Super Saiyan, seeing those two back and forth in terms of being equals makes sense. But seeing Cabba having Vegeta on the run, what it seems from the preview, after Vegeta's been through all the training he has up until the Buu Saga, and then with Whis, then 3 years of training with Goku, I think the number one question for me is why the heck does Vegeta go Super SS Blue in the next episode? I mean, does Cabba say, hey, don't hold back against me? Does Vegeta get pushed to the point where he has no choice but to utilize it? I mean, because honestly, if let's say him and Cabba are equals as Super Saiyans, if Vegeta went SS2 doubling his power, then it will be over in a wrap. So again, I'm interested in seeing if two things here, because remember how fast the pacing is. What if Vegeta, SS Vegeta, golden hair, defeats SS, J or golden hair Cabba, and then goes into the tournament as Universe 6's last fighter, and Vegeta has no choice but to go SS2. I would think that would be the more interesting reason for Vegeta to be pushed that far, or because of the fact that, if I'm not mistaken, in the previews we see the dramatic moment where we see SS Blue Vegeta in the eyesight of Cabba. It's kind of cool when they do the close-up of the irises and you kind of see Vegeta seeing Goku, for example, or whatever the case may be. In this case, we see SS Blue Vegeta in the eyes of Cabba, and then we see SS Cabba in the eyes of Vegeta. So with that being said, do you think that Cabba will push Vegeta in the battle to go SSJ Blue? Or do you think that in a show of, hey, in Universe 6, it's cool that you finally became a Super Saiyan, but as a fellow Saiyan, let me show you the true extent of our Saiyan power, and he goes to SS Blue. I think that might be the reason, because, Vegeta being Vegeta, I can see him doing that. So, again, comment below, do you think that Vegeta will be forced to unleash his God power on Cabba? Or do you think he's going to show it to Cabba willingly to say, hey, I want to serve as an inspiration, so when you get back to Universe 6, here's the power you should strive for. So with that being said, please let me know what your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe to my channel, because the more subscribers I get, the more likely I am to make these videos. And I will see you all next time. And of course, let's just root for Universe 7, because right now, depending on the plot, I have an interesting, thought process in terms of this. Do you think Universe 7 will end up winning the tournament, or do you think that Hit will pretty much sweep them all? So again, I'll see you all next time, and hey, we have a great show to look forward to in episode 37 when Cabba and Vegeta hit the stage.